Hello everyone, and welcome to this new series I wanted to start on this channel called The Monsters of Pillar Chase 2. Now you may be wondering why this is part 0. Well, in this part I didn't really want to take a look at the monsters themselves and more so talk about Pillar Chase as a game. So in today's video, I'll be discussing the history of Pillar Chase 2, the gameplay, and everything else I feel like talking about the game, like the items and powers. So let's start out with Part 1, the history. It all started on December 27th, 2020, when the user _Blade Ninja would release the very first Pillar Chase game. If you ask me, this game has aged pretty poorly, and it's not worth going back to in the slightest. I will say I do like the Five Nights at Freddy's map, though, and if there's anything that they should bring back to Pillar Chase 2 from this game, it'd probably be this map. I would show you guys the analytics for this game, but I can't find them anywhere. And while it lasted, this game did have a pretty good amount of visits. It's now really dead. However, Blade Ninja wouldn't give up, because 4 years later, on February 28th, 2024, he would release the sequel to Pillar Chase. And while I wouldn't say it didn't become a viral horror game like Doors did, it's gained a pretty decent following. Well, now that we got the history out of the way, it's time to talk about Part 2, the gameplay. According to the description of this game, it was inspired by a Hello custom map. Now, while I don't know what for sure he's talking about, it could be interesting. But anyways, I feel as if this game takes a lot of traits from Survival the Killer. Basically, if you're a survivor, you have to survive away from the killer and do tasks around the map. However, unlike in Survival the Killer, instead of having to go through an exit, you just have to wait until the time runs out to win. And completing tasks around the map will decrease the amount of time you have. The killer's goal is simply to kill all the players around the map before the time runs out, and when the killer kills a player, they gain an extra 10 seconds into the timer. One thing I think this game did right over Pillar Chase 1, aside from everything, is the maps. In the original Pillar Chase, you got to select which maps you got to play. And while selection of maps isn't a bad thing, the one problem with it is that most players that aren't very good at the game are always going to choose the easy map. So in this game, the maps are randomized, making it a surprise for which map you're going to get. And each map has its own kind of objectives that you need to complete. Before we end this video, we have one more part to close out with, and it's Part 3, the items and powers. Now, while avoiding the monsters with absolutely nothing could still be possible, it might still be a bit of a challenge for newcomers, but this game has some items to combat all of the monsters that come your way. You got the flashlight, which is the flashlight, I don't know what else you want me to say. The medkit, which will heal you. There's the ultra flashlight, which is just the flashlight, but better. There's Stefano, a statue that can give you a speed boost. The Doom Gauntlet, which will allow you to push away enemies twice. Finally is the item called Weird Mask, which is based on an SCP called SCP-035. Quick rundown of an SCP, it's a fake online website with all these, interdimensional creatures that people submit online. It's kind of cool, honestly. A quick rundown of this SCP, it's a mask that any host that comes near it has the urge to put it on, and when it does put it on, the mask takes over the host's body and doesn't leave until the body decays. It doesn't even have to work on living things either. It can also work on non-living things, like dummies. When you use it in-game and put it on, then you basically just become a mini monster and help out the monster with killing every other player on the map. You can get these items by either finding them around the map or by purchasing them at Phoenix Finch's shop in the lobby. Hey, it's me after already uploading this video to YouTube. I made a mistake, actually, because as you can see from the text at the top, Phoenix Finch is not an OC character of Blade Ninja. He's actually one of the developers for Pillar Chase 2. And I just made a mistake about that. And proof he's one of the developers and not just some random guy pretending to be a character from the game. His first upload using his character was before the development of Pillar Chase. Yeah, that was a mistake. Sorry, Phoenix. I thought you were an OC character. That was my bad. Anyways, yeah, I'll continue on with the video. However, that's not it, because there's also abilities to help you evade the monsters, like Clarity, which increases your range of vision, Flimsy, which decreases your stamina and health but makes you run faster, Prepared, which lights up every item in the map for 15 seconds, Runner, which increases your stamina by 15 but makes it go down faster, Sixth Sense, which increases your heartbeat sound range, Sneaky, which makes your footsteps quieter, Tinky, which decreases your stamina but gives you 25 more HP, and finally, Danger Vision, which allows you to see the monster for 6 seconds after it kills someone. And that's basically all I have to say about this game. It's pretty good, you should go play it. And obviously, this is part 0, so if you guys don't know, this is a part series where I'm going to be discussing the monsters that are in this game. I just wanted to make this part so that way I could talk about the actual game itself, and not really the monsters, since I'm saving those for the other parts. But I hope you're excited for part 1, where I'm going to talk about Vapor. But anyways, I'll see you then. Bye-bye.